Well, Isaac Cheng is the chairperson of the pro-democracy organisation Demosisto and has attended all of the protests in the past few weeks. He joins us now from Hong Kong. Isaac, thank you so much for your time. We're going to see a rally and a march later on Sunday. Are you worried about more scenes of violence?
Actually, the Hong Kong Police Force didn't put out the license of having march today and only give out the license of having an assembly today. But I think at least 500,000 of people will be coming out on the street. So I think it must be over the places that they provided license for assembly. So we can only urge that the Hong Kong Police Force do not use violence towards the protester, because most likely today will be peaceful assembly only.
We have been seeing more violent scenes from the police, from protesters as well. Do you fear that at some point in the near future, China may intervene?
Actually, there is some chances that the Chinese army are actually coming to Hong Kong. But I think for this stage, it's only a scare tactics from Communist Party, who only want to fear Hong Kong people not to come out on the street again. But I think that actually, when Communist Party are really sending the Chinese troop to Hong Kong, then it become international news and also will get the attention of the international society. So if they plan to do so, we urge the international society to restrict the power of the Chinese government.
It's the 11th week of protests. As we've been saying, we're seeing more and more violent scenes. Are protesters worried that such as yourself, that you're at risk of losing the freedoms that you already have should these violent scenes continue?
I will say that our freedom have been lost slowly, and when we are fighting against the government, and also we are fighting the rights of having freedom. Actually, we are gaining the freedom, but not losing them. But for us, for the protest, we are more concerned about there is a real universal suffrage in a visible future, because for this stage, the stance of the Hong Kong government are going firmer and firmer, and so we have to try to use different strategies to make the Hong Kong government really listen to the 5 demands of Hong Kong people.
Has there been any attempt by the Hong Kong government to reach out to some more prominent figures of the protest movement, or have you yourself tried to reach out to the government to have a dialogue?
I think at this stage there is no one can represent the whole protest or the whole movement, but the 5 demands are really clear. Actually, if the government they have the will to talk with the protester, or they have the will to urge to finish this movement or finish this chaos, they can only please accomplish a few of the 5 demands, and the Hong Kong people will feel that the government really want to solve the problem. But at this stage, none of the 5 demands have been achieved. So we still keep on fighting.
You talked about tactics a little bit earlier. Is there a new conversation amongst protesters about trying to avoid violence going forward, trying to change the way things are being done?
You mean the violence come from the police, army, or the violence come from the protester? The
violence coming from the protesters.
I think there is a restrict mechanism inside the protester. Actually, there is a lot of communications and different groups that talk about the protest, the strategy like that. And actually, there is some self-restruct mechanism inside. So I think didn't have to worry about the violence level. But I think the most chaos scenes are because of the police force, but not the Hong Kong protester. Actually, the Hong Kong protester, the emotions are triggered by the forces that used by the Hong Kong police.
All right. Isaac Cheng, chairperson of the pro-democracy organisation Demosisto, thank you so much for your time.